everyone. Welcome to Connection Yoga. I just want to say real quick, yoga is for everyone. However, when online, it is up to the individual to assess whether they are ready or not to participate in the class that they have chosen. If you suffer from specific disease, illness, or injury, or are pregnant, it is important for you to consult with your physician before beginning. The practice of yoga requires that you, the practitioner, need to gauge the safety of your practice within your own personal and physical limitations. I'm not there, I'm not in your body, so I can't. You need to pay attention and act accordingly. It is always better for you to build up slowly rather than force or strain. While you might feel exertion throughout the practice, you should also feel relaxed. While you might feel some discomfort, you should never feel pain. The techniques and suggestions presented in the following content are not intended to substitute for proper medical care. Consult your physician before beginning any new exercise program. Connection Yoga assumes no responsibility for injuries suffered while participating in the yoga content. The user assumes all risks. With that, I can't wait to see you on the mat, and I'll see you there.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Break It Down For Me segment. Today we are going to be breaking down upward facing dog. Alright, so it might sound familiar, but throw what you know out the window. We're gonna build it from the ground up. By that, I mean from the feet to our head. You will learn how to align the body to be as centered and stable as possible in up dog today. All right, so as usual, we will be using true north alignment. So this is how we look at the body and how we align it. So we break it down into the 5 sections of the whole. And we'll get more into that when we break down the pose itself. So, before that, I just want to give a little background information about upward dog, or up dog, upward facing dog. I'm going to say up dog. So, it is part of the traditional vinyasa flow. So, we've been breaking down the poses of the vinyasa first. So, I broke down the down dog and push-up / chaturanga. If you want, go ahead and hit pause, go back and watch those, but also watching those or not should not inhibit you from being able to successfully learn or try up dog today. So, boom, you go from down dog to the high push-up to the chaturanga and press up to up dog, all right? So, it's sort of a funky pose that we can easily do in a way that would hurt either our shoulders or our low back, all right? So today I'll be breaking it down in a way to help you avoid that in the future. So if you're ready, let's get started. As always, we are going to start with our feet through our legs, all right? So you're gonna be on your belly, all right? So you want your feet flat on top of the mat. They're probably a little bit apart, hip width, wherever your push-up feet would have been, but you want them flat and you want the top pressing down into the earth. You don't want your ankles sickling out or sickling in. You want them flat and pressing, all right? With that, pressing your feet into the earth, you'll be lifting your legs off the ground. So, from your ankles up through your quads, they should be engaged and lifting away from the earth. So, boom. I'm not lifting all the way up, but you can see even from down here, you press your feet, lifts your quads and knees. All right? So, boom. Feet through legs. Next, our hips. Low back butt region. All right, so you want your hips square to the earth, all right? And you want them slightly rotating in. It's an interesting sensation, but when you press up, press your feet into the earth, and you want them to slightly rotate in. All right? Slight. All right? But your hips should be lifted off the earth because your quads and legs are lifted, all right, with your butt squeezing. If your hips are not lifting off the earth, if your quads are not lifting off the earth, then do not lift your upper body all the way up. You need those hips to be lifted because it protects the low back. If our hips are staying down here and we're pressing up, look at that crunch in my back. I mean, you can do it. Press up, you can feel that crunch in your back. That's not what we want. All right? So you want your feet flat, pressing to press your legs off of the earth. All right? So that takes us to our core, which melds with our hips. All right? Your belly needs to be engaged and drawn in. All right? Draw it in to protect the low back. With the stomach contraction, we keep the core in, not allowing it to crunch. So if we're just letting our belly out, like this, we just let our back go. But pull it in, and that pulls that in. All right, so we want a strong belly to protect ourselves and our low back. So, all right, and I'll demonstrate the two ways. So we go up. This is letting my belly out. Now, tuck it in, draw it in, and that'll help your low back, okay? Cool, so moving on to the most important part, which is our upper body, all right? So, this pose, though some may say otherwise, it is supposed to be a chest opener, not an ab stretcher or throat stretcher, okay? It is a chest opener. So, with that in mind, hands at 12 o'clock, facing forward, shoulder width apart, under your shoulders, all right? So, starting from laying on the ground, you want them under your shoulders by your ribs here. Moving to the elbows, you want them drawn into the ribs. You don't want to wing out like a bird because that is a weak position. You want them tight in, and you want to keep them there as you press up, but you don't want to lock your elbows out. So when you press up, keep a slight bend in your elbow, okay? So elbows in, hands at 12 o'clock by the ribs, under the shoulders, and press up. So you want a slight bend in your elbows. You don't want to lock out, okay? So up here, you want your collarbones opening to the front wall. I'm gonna turn to you so that you can see a little bit better, okay? So you want these collarbones opening to the front as your hands are pressing into the earth. So open the collarbones, press your hands into the mat to get that lift and to open, to pull your shoulder blades back a little bit and down the back. So by pressing your hand, you not only engage the arm bone into the shoulder socket, you're helping to distribute the weight across your hand instead of just on your wrist. I know when I first started doing yoga, I didn't realize how weak my wrists were, and I was feeling it. So if you're feeling it, it's okay. You're gonna work your way up, but to help yourself, press across your hands. Press across the palm here, all right? And that will help distribute the weight plus everything else that I've mentioned before. So that leaves us with the last section, fifth section, which is our head and our neck, all right? So what you're gonna do is you want to keep a neutral neck. As I said before, this is not a throat opener. So you might have seen people go into their up dog, like this. No. Nope. You want to keep your neck neutral with your spine and your gaze forward. All right? So let's put it all together real quick. So first section, feet through legs. Feet pressing, legs engaged and lifted off the earth, lifting the hips up, belly drawn in, the back. Okay? With our upper body opening forward, our hands pressing into the earth, elbows in, and shoulder blades down the back, drawn in. Okay? Head neutral and forward. So, going to press up one more time for you to see that all together. And you can try yourself. Okay? This is an intense pose, but it's awesome, and you're gonna do it a lot. And you can get a lot of benefits if you start engaging your core, and everything else. So, that's essentially the traditional version of it. It's an intense pose. Yoga will definitely get your heart rate up. With the breathing in this pose, it is considered an expansive pose since we are opening the front ribs and chest here. So it is suggested that you inhale when you transition into this pose to deepen the extension of the thoracic spine. So that's your upper spine here, which is what we're trying to extend to open the chest. So you're going to exhale on your chaturanga, inhale to up dog. And I'll do that real quick. So, and this is just me saying it. This is what is suggested. If something else, if you're breathing in the opposite way, feels more natural, who's to say not to do it? Okay, just keep breathing. So I'm gonna exhale down, inhale up. All right, and so with that inhale, as I'm pressing forward, it fills our ribs because our lungs, you always think they're a little bit down here, but they're up here, okay? So inhale to help yourself in this pose. All right, also to help yourself, if this is feeling like a lot, your wrists are screaming, your arms are screaming, you can't get up there quite yet. Totally okay. So there's some modifications that you can do to get yourself into this pose. So first, you can either place blocks underneath each hand to lift yourself up with your toes tucked, all right? To help you elevate the thighs off the floor until you're able to strengthen the legs and arms to do that job instead, okay? So, tuck your toes, hands on blocks. You can see we can still do it. Our feet can still press into the earth, strong legs, chest opening forward, but our feet aren't flat. And I'm carrying much more weight in my legs than before. So, I know, I have struggled to build up my arm strength, so this is a great way to try. Also, another way that you can do this is take a blanket, roll it up. I've put mine about the width of my body, and put it under your thighs to help assist bearing the weight in this pose. So, I'm gonna lay down on my little blanket here, all right? Feet are still flat. You can press yourself up here, all right? So, we're in proper alignment, but this blanket is carrying a lot of my weight. My arms, see, I can hold this position. I barely even have any weight on my arms because I'm putting it on this roll. So this is a good good modification for you to try. All right, build yourself up there, because you do this pose a lot, okay? So, if you are still experiencing issues with this pose, then begin with baby cobra first, all right? And I'll be breaking down cobra in the future, but it helps you to strengthen your upper back and your arms and wrists before moving to this pose, upward dog. So, everything's almost the same, except for you're just using your upper body and your arms to lift yourself a little bit. Hips still on the earth, chest opening forward. All right, lower back not crunching. My elbow's in the way, but it's not crunching. All right, start with baby cobra, and then eventually, I know you'll be strong enough to do this upward dog as awesome as you can. So yeah, up dog. It's great. It lifts the heart and opens you to life and experiences, and it makes you feel proud and strong. And it's a tough pose, but it feels great. And I suggest you keep trying and allowing yourself to open yourself up to new opportunities and ideas. And yeah, so that's pretty much up dog for you. If you have any questions or comments about things that I said today, put it in the comments section below. If you liked it all, give me a like and a subscribe. And I can't wait to see you next week in this segment and sometime this week on the mat. So, peace everybody, and have a wonderful day.